Hello, Terry here, and we're back with Playdead. This time, case number 2, Spiderpus and the Screeching Weasels. And I must say, this loading screen, not loading, this title screen is still heavy, but less heavy than the first episode. So, yeah, let's continue the journey of these 4 group of friends, shall we? And a dog, of course. Spiderpus. Okay. A website. A new found CoreyTumblr.com. I need a break, but I'd rather have a breakthrough. Good one, Corey. Hi, I'm Corey, and I started this blog because weird shit keeps happening to my band. And I had to tell someone. Apparently, someone is the entire internet. Stop, thief, man, ask Twitter. Oh, you have Twitter. Oh god, that's horrible. My condolence to you. Your story's tag? Archive. So, I'm back. Someone suggested I set up a proper blog, so here's that. I was going to set up a blog too, but I canceled it because this right now is currently taxing me a lot. Managing live, managing YouTube, managing coffee and all of that, it's already taxing enough. I'm gonna do blogging perhaps years later. Anyway, it seems that a few of you want to hear about some of our other monster mishaps. Yes, that's why I'm here for. And I'm nothing if not a people pleaser, so here you go. Also, we are still at home, and if I don't look busy, Brian is going to direct me into some feng shui remodel of our shitty apartment. Which I admit I wouldn't mind him doing, but I'm not getting suckered into moving a bunch of furniture to make up for his noodle arms. Oh, Brian. Therefore, I give you the thing in the basement of that venue in Chicago. Oh yeah, the one that you say it has some kind of tentacle or spider legs. Interesting. That's a working title. Alright. Let's see. On the surface, there was nothing unusual about this place, which I'm withholding the name of, because I don't want to be legally responsible if some wannabe monster hunter reads this and goes down there to harass the venue owners. I mean, yeah, why would you want to disturb the Spiderpus? It's such a beautiful creature after all. Or worse, actually finds the thing. Yeah. Anyway, it was a kind of a little hole-in-the-wall club. Nothing extraordinary. The stage was about the size of a broom closet. Caleb, Brian, and I had all of like 3 feet between everyone here and falling to the crowd. Where's Savannah? And there's Savannah. And Savannah drum kit was shoved so far back that you could barely see her. Oh, Savannah. Plus, the whole place shook when people jumped in the pit, and I didn't feel comfortable encouraging that as much. I normally would. Yeah, I mean, you don't want the whole place to fall down, didn't you? Ah, this is a green room, not a horror room. Alright. The green room, meanwhile, was downstairs. It wasn't all that appealing to hang out in. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was repurposed. What do you mean it's unappealing? This is appealing enough. Look, I mean, it got sofa. You could lie down or do some stuff. It's nice. With just a couple of armchairs, a small couch, and about half of what was on our rider. Well, this is good enough. Apparently no one at that venue had wanted to entertain my request specifically for Red Sour Patch Kids. Oh, the food. They're the best one. So I was stuck rooting around in the back for them. Ah, okay. That Sour Patch. I was sitting on one of the couches, scavenging for red sour patches while thumbing through a book I picked up somewhere, some Midwestern truck stop about haunted place in America. Unsurprisingly, the house where we accidentally obtained Thief didn't make the list. Oh, interesting. The rest of my band lurked in various other corners of the room. Savannah and Caleb were engaged in a heated game of Super Smash Bros. Oh, nice. And Brian was parked in one of the other chairs, reading some trashy hipster magazine. Thief was relaxing on the floor, as much as a ghost can relax. Aw, Thief. Aw. I'm still unclear on whether he actually sleeps or what, but that's what it looks like he was doing. And he's awake. Suddenly he picked his head up and tilted, one ear raised slightly as he blinked a few times. Oh. Ah, now the character is animated. I do remember Thief wagging his tail a lot. Then his lips pulled back into a snarl. Brian and I look up from our reading material and Savannah and Caleb pause their game. Who is it?
Hey Thief, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Caleb got up and took a few steps towards him. I think it's something least worse than that mushroom man. Because that mushroom man surely makes Thief cower under a table, but this one, Thief just want to fight. Thief stood, barked once, and took off through the wall of the green room. Okay, there goes Thief. But
Hey, wait!
it just goes sideways. You could just make a Thief disappear. That would be better rather than sliding like that. Caleb sprinted out a door after him. The rest of us watched as he disappeared down the hall.
Probably.
Oh, I skipped something, sorry.
Should we go with him?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
Uh-huh. Savannah sighed, pushing herself off the couch.
Who knows what he'll get into?
Hey, at least all of the people here wears new clothes except you, Brian. What's with that boring clothing? Do you even change your clothes? Brian rolled his eyes but put down whatever vegan mustache wax article he was reading and followed us out the door. Okay. The three of us followed Caleb down the hallway and found him standing at the end of it, staring at a door. Interesting. This room?
In there.
Uh-huh. Caleb pointed at the door, which had a handwritten employees only sign taped to it. He tried the doorknob. It was locked.
So,
Uh-huh.
do we ask the venue guys for a key,
Or it suddenly opens.
And
No,
tell them
okay.
what? Our ghost pet phased through the door and disappeared in there?
Okay, I was really hoping that the door will suddenly open.
Just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come back eventually. It's probably just a storage closet or something.
Are you sure?
But what if he doesn't?
Uh-huh. Oh, he will. I don't know, I'm just kidding.
You can stay here. Good riddance.
Oh, Brian, no. Caleb looked like a kick puppy and Savannah punched Brian in the arm. Oh, Caleb.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't turn up, we'll find a way in there later.
Yep.
Come on. We're on in a few minutes.
Okay, let's go. Somewhat reluctantly, Caleb followed us back to the green room. And there they go, concert. Oh, nice. The show went off only a few hitches, I guess. We had some weird feedback issues and there was this strange clicking noise that the sound guy kept blaming us for, what? And we kept blaming him for because neither of us knew what was going on. Oh, interesting. The house audio guys are super hit and miss. Sometimes they're actually professional, and sometimes they're somebody's cousin whose sound engineering resume consists of their high school play and a graduation party or two. But we can afford to hire our own to bring out yet. Okay. Oh, skip something. We can even afford a tour manager, so Savannah and I kind of split that job. I make sure everyone is where they need to be when they need to be there. I mean, why don't you give Caleb that job? I'm pretty sure Caleb will be a great tour manager. And she handles all the finance, okay, including shaking down the promos for our money and arguing with them about what percentage of the merch sales they were supposed to get. See, she usually wins, okay. Of course, our merch sales weren't exactly stellar, considering that we changed the band name halfway through the tour and now had a bunch of shirts and stickers with the wrong name. Because we are idiots and did not think about the consequence of that decision. Yeah, I can relate to that. Screeching Weasel. Oh, that's a nice poster. I love that design. We did hang out at the merch table for a while after our set and managed to smooth our way into a few sales by signing some autographs and taking selfies with a small handful of people who were actually excited to see us all. I recognized a couple of them from other cities and had to wonder how far they have driven. Oh. Our fan base may be small, but I guess I'm glad we have one. That's more than a lot of hopeful musicians wind up with. I admit I'm still getting used to total strangers knowing who I am, though, and it makes me a little nervous. I've heard some real horror stories from other bands about stalkers and the like. Not to mention that I'm terrified to accidentally offend someone and incur the wrath of the internet. The price of fame, I guess. Yeah, accidentally incurring the wrath of the internet. Oh, that's horrible. Anyway, speaking of consequences of poor decisions, Thief still hadn't returned to the green room when we filed back in at the end of the night. Oh no. Caleb poked around the room, checking behind couches and under tables for any sign of his pet. So I guess another adventure then. Let's go to that employee-only room.
Okay, can we ask for a key to that room now?
Sure.
I still don't know what you expect us to tell them.
Just tell that you're playing around and then your card suddenly gets slipped under the door. Like your credit card or something like that.
I don't know, but we can't just leave them.
Yeah.
Sure we can.
No. Brian, here's a brighter idea. How about we just leave you behind?
Or we could just pick the lock.
Oh. Well, that's a good idea. We all look at her.
Do you know how to do that?
Why not?
Of course.
Of course. She extracted a hairpin from her hair.
Wait, what about that time we locked ourselves out of the van and had to break a window?
Different kind of lock.
Ah,
Didn't
okay.
have a clothes hanger.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Lockpicking Lawyer, great guy, by the way, you have to check the channel. It's kind of lovely just to see people picking lock like that. Different locks requires different tool and technique. So, yeah, come on, let's pick the lock. We all watched curiously as Savannah fiddled with the lock on the employee door. It was pretty quiet at this point in the night. The venue was empty and the other bands were gone. Finally, the door swung open with a creak. Oh. Inside was a set of stairs leading down.
I thought we were already in the basement.
Oh, apparently not.
We are.
Sub-basement.
There's a sub-basement?
Could be.
Right, because that's totally a thing normal buildings have.
Yeah.
What do you think is down there?
Your dog? Thief?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, let's go. Savannah flipped on her phone flashlight and began to march down the stairs. Caleb hurried after her. Oh.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Oh god, are you sure it's a good idea? The stairs looks very horrible.
Yeah, remember what happened last time we wandered into a dark, creepy place that we clearly weren't supposed to be in?
I don't know.
Fine. You wusses stay up there, and we'll go find the damn dog.
I mean, this time it could be different. Brian and I look at each other.
She's never going to let us live it down if we stay up here.
Yep.
I know. Why do we always have to do this shit?
Always, I mean, this is the second time. It couldn't be so bad. He stared down. Started? Ah, yeah, it's started. Started down the stairs after them. I followed, flipping on my flashlight as well. Oh, I didn't see a light switch at the top of the stair and was hoping for one at the bottom. But the bottom was nowhere to be found. We hit a landing and the stairs turned to face the other direction, then another, where they reverse again. Oh, I like that. I like the atmosphere. Oh, the music too. Oh. Why there's choice? Turn back? I mean, that's the logical thing to do, right? I turned and looked back up the stairs. The door to the hallway was barely a pinprick already. I didn't want to disappoint Caleb though. So... Oh. We're continuing down?
I think we should turn around.
Yeah.
What? Are you scared? It's just stairs.
Just stairs.
Keep going.
Okay. Let's turn back.
No, seriously. We could get in trouble for this.
Yeah. Alright, Savannah, alright. No need to be so savage. Turn back again?
Guys, something isn't right here.
Yeah.
We just have to find Thief and then we can leave, okay? Please?
Brian doesn't even talk.
Okay.
Brian is too afraid. We continued our descent.
Okay, how the fuck long are these stairs?
I was hoping there was something different, you know, like there's an eye on the left or the right of the stairs that only we notice, but the characters didn't notice. That would be nice.
This is gonna take forever to get back up. Also, where are we?
Yeah.
I think I see the bottom.
Ah, finally. He shined his light over Savannah's head. Sure enough, the last stair put us on a solid ground, but there was still no light switch to be found. Or a nearby wall, for that matter. Oh no. Oh no.
Real talk, how deep are we?
Yeah. Brian squinted into the darkness.
This has to be like stories below the ground.
Yep.
This is not a normal basement.
Not at all.
Deep enough that there's no cell service.
Oh no. I held my useless phone in the air.
That's our luck.
No, that's our sign. Let's go.
We're looking for a ghost dog. Nothing about this is normal.
And are you prepared to meet whatever is there?
Thief!
Sure, it's a good idea to scream.
Hey, thief! Here, boy.
What if something else than thief comes? Ah, okay. Before we could shush him, we heard the bark in the distance. It echoed around the chamber a bit. Ah, okay, so if it's echoes, then it means it has wall, but we just doesn't see it, right? We exchanged glances and began walking toward the sound. Walls were still nowhere in sight, and the floor was little more than packed dirt. There was another bark every 10 or 20 seconds, allowing us to reorient ourselves in the right direction. Thief? We followed the sound of the barking. Headphones recommended for this part? I already wear headphones. Right? We followed the sound to the right. Left. Wait, straight? My headphones is kinda bad, you know, because the right... what do you call it? The right earbud doesn't really pick up sound, so I kinda having hard time differentiating between straight and left. I guess straight. Ah, then left. 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 Straight then. I realized looking back that this was not the smartest idea, you think? Any more than going down the stairs in the first place was just putting in on our bad decision step.
Guys, how are we going to find the stairs again?
Yeah. How?
We'll just go back the way we came.
I don't know if that's possible.
Okay, can you tell me which way that is?
It's...
I then realized that I couldn't see shit and I had no idea.
That's what I thought.
Ah! There was another bark and we kept moving towards it for lack of a better option.
It really doesn't seem like we're getting any closer.
We did, though.
This place is a straight-up cavern.
Yeah. Brian shined his flashlight around to either side. He almost dropped his phone when he shined it above us. Brian, you're afraid of us? Oh, sorry. I accidentally rolled back.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, it's something different, isn't it?
What is... Oh, holy shit!
What is it? Hello? Ah, yo. There was something hanging from the ceiling directly above our heads. That's kinda cute, but in a way spooky too. A handful of shiny, wet black eyes blinked down at us, and a pointed tongue hung from something that was halfway between a jaw and a mandible. Sideways, but with rows of squarish human-like teeth on either side. Oh, no. Oh, God. No, horrible. The creature clicked them together once or twice, then launched it off the ceiling, and landed with a thud on the ground behind us. We spun around the beams from our flashlight shaking as we began backing away. Oh God, is that spider leg or tentacles? Oh no. And human teeth. Why do you give it that? The look of a spider and some. Yeah, it's a good design. Love it. Can I hide the text? Nice. Oh God. Oh. Now that it was on the ground, I could see that the thing's body was little more than a large, round black fuzzball. Long hair hung off it and swished back and forth when it moved. Kinda cute though. Its legs were, as stated in the previous story, somewhere between spider legs and tentacles. They were thicker close to its body, and the joints were sort of rounded, but there were visible joints. However, they had rows of what looked like suckers along the underside. The thing clicked its teeth at us again and took a step forward. We continued shuffling backwards with a familiar bark sounded again. Good idea. Continue to shuffle backward. That thing doesn't attack immediately. After all, I think that thing is faster than you both. So just back up slowly and prepare for anything. Thief appeared in between us and the creature, wagging his tail and crouching down playfully, looking expectantly at the monster.
Thief, get away from there!
We'll see.
He's already dead.
How much worse?
Could it get?
I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
Come here, Thief.
Thief, in true untrained puppy fashion, completely ignored him and hopped side to side, wooing occasionally at the monster. The creature in turn blinked down at Thief with all of its eyes, then made a wiggling motion and also began hopping side to side, keeping low to the ground. Thief became extra excited and began running circles around the monster, periodically trying to nip at its feet. The monster continued to wiggle and click excitedly, its long fur swishing around as it and Thief took around chasing each other around the room. Ah, they're playing.
Are they playing?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, it sure doesn't look like fighting.
Aw. The dog and the spider thing continued their game for another few minutes, before seeming to tire each other out and returning to where we were standing. Why don't you adopt this giant cat, spider, as your pet? That would be nice too. But I don't know how will you keep it though. Thief sat down in front of Caleb, tail still wagging, and the creature spun around once before shaking itself out and clicking happily, flopping its abdomen down on the floor with a thud.
Does this mean you're ready to go?
Yeah, sure, why not? Thief looked at him and barked once, tongue hanging out of his mouth as usual. Caleb slowly bent down and picked Thief up, never taking his eyes off the spider, which was now sitting calmly and watching us with some curiosity.
So, how do we get out of here?
How? At that, the creature perked up. We instinctively stepped back as it got to its feet and began making its way towards us, feet making a soft tapping noise on the dirt. However, it scuttled right past us, stopping on the opposite side and looking back expectantly, clicking a few times. Oh, you know the way out? Or do you?
I think it wants us to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? How bad could it be?
Is that really a good idea?
What else do we have as a choice?
Got any better ones?
Yeah.
No.
Then we're following the giant fuzzy spider.
Let's go! Reluctantly, we began to follow the Spiderpus. We still couldn't see much, so we walked close together until finally the stairs came into view. That was easy. At that point, we all but sprinted in the rest of the way, hitting the wooden planks and beginning to jog up. Bye-bye! Oh, I paused once on the way and waved awkwardly at the Spiderpus. It's so cute.
Thanks.
Yeah. It clicked placidly in response, which I took as "you are welcome," and I hurried to catch up with the others. However, we had, in our rush to escape, forgotten exactly how many stairs there were. By the time we actually made it on the top, we were all wheezing and drenched in sweat, except Savannah, who exerted this kind of energy on the regular while drumming and had to keep stopping to let us catch up. But I kinda wonder, is the spider the only thing there because it's a huge cavern? As we practically fell through the door and back into the basement hallway, the production manager came strolling down the stair, whistling merrily. He stopped abruptly and we locked eyes. Oh no.
Thought you guys were gone.
Yeah?
We had to...
We forgot something. Uh-huh. He looked past us at the open door.
You went down there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Ah,
Bessie, I take it?
so it's Bessie? Oh, Bessie is so cute.
It has a name?
Yeah, obviously.
Of course she does.
Oh,
It's a she?
yeah.
Hell, as far as I know. What'd you forget?
Mm-hmm. At that moment, Thief closed the meteorologist out of thin air on the floor in front of me, barking and wagging as usual. The man looked down at the dog, then back at us.
Oh.
Ah. I suddenly decided whatever the answer were to any of my other questions, I didn't want them.
Yeah, we're just gonna go now. Long drive, you know?
Why it become awkward?
Right.
Uh-huh.
You do that, yeah.
Without another word, we hurriedly made our way out of the venue, got in the van and speed away as fast as we could without getting a ticket. Run! No one spoke for a long while, and eventually I realized that Caleb and Brian, as well as Steve, were sleeping soundly in the back seat. I don't know, I think Brian passed out. Shortly after, Savannah passed out in the passenger seat and I drove us into the night. I did a little digging around online later to see if anything even remotely close to the Spiderpus had ever seen before. And no, nada. The closest I found were a handful of folklore spider monsters from other countries and various Native American tribes. And a kraken, but Bessie didn't really match the description of any of them. But it could be the child of a kraken and spiders. I don't know. I have to admit, it was a bit of a relief to know that there are other people who deal with weird stuff on the regular floating around. Clearly, that production manager was aware of the monster in their basement, and I'm betting there were other employees who knew too. But that begs the question, what else is out there? As it turns out, a lot of things, but those are stories for other days. Actually, you know what? That was kind of short, wasn't it? I think we have a time for one more. Oh, okay. Bear with me, I'm still working out a format for all of this. Alright. The next few days, much to our relief, pretty normal, or at least as normal as your ghost dog sticking his head out of the van window by just facing it through the glass can get anyway. However, that all come to screeching halt when we cross the state line into North Dakota. Oh. Despite being well into what should be spring, places like this were still getting short with snow. We stopped in some small town somewhere to get gas and make a grocery run before we spent all of our money on fast food. Not that there was much you could keep in a couple of coolers in a cramped van. And when I say small town, I mean there was like one main street and a couple of side streets, and everything after that was wood and fields. Ah, it's a nice town. It was pretty isolated, there wasn't another town for miles as far as I could tell. The local residents were cheery enough considering the weather, and a lot of them were going about their business in t-shirts. I guess anything about freezing is a heat wave in places like that. The weather didn't bother me personally. Growing up in Nebraska will do that for you. Brian was in a similar boat coming from Seattle, though he was more used to rain than snow. Our home base in Arizona now, but I don't think either of us have gotten used to the dry heat there. Caleb and Savannah, on the other hand, have spent their entire lives in desert country, relocating from Southern California to Tuscan, where the four of us met. Those two were bundled up in every article of winter clothing they had packed, walking around like Stay Puft Marshmallow people. Anyway, we filled up the van and then made our way to the town's tiny food mart. Okay. It was a small mom and pop shop. Apparently Walmart and Costco hadn't managed to sink their claws into this place yet. Okay. Oh, that's nice. The selection wasn't great, but it was better than McDonald's.
Remember, absolutely no dairy. That shit doesn't keep.
Actually, you can froze milk, you know, and keep it for a long time, but yeah, you doesn't have anything to place frozen milk, right? So, yeah, okay.
Also, Brian almost pukes every time.
Oh, no, Brian.
So much it smells milk.
Uh-huh.
Because being lactose intolerant is my fault.
Yeah, it's not Brian's fault. I mean, a lot of people actually lactose intolerant.
And Caleb.
Uh-huh.
Lay off the Slim Jims. You're gonna turn into one if you keep eating those things.
Slim Jims? What's that? Caleb made a pouty face and shuffled dejectedly away behind Savannah. Brian and I headed up into the opposite direction of Caleb and Savannah, occasionally shoving things into a grocery basket. Brian brought a jumbo bag of fruit and nut trail mix, and I carefully inspected a bag of Granny Smith apples before adding them to the basket.
You know you're literally the only person who likes those, right?
Yeah, I mean, why do you like apples so much? It's hard, not that good. I mean, you should try lychees. Lychee. Yeah, oh, that's a delicious fruit. Melon, watermelon, oh god, nice.
Yeah, so no one takes them.
Uh-huh.
Also, there's that saying about apples and keeping doctors away. And my health insurance is garbage, so I need to stay far away from the doctors.
Alright, suit yourself, Corey.
Right, because we picked such a safe career option.
It is safe. I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't have any accident. Except, you know, meeting two cryptid creatures.
Yeah, there's not really any going back now.
Yeah.
Don't you actually have a degree? Why not get a job in that field?
Yeah, no. I mean, having a degree doesn't mean you can get a job on that field.
Sure, if you see any historian openings, let me know.
Historians? Why?
I saw you as the academic type.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, me either. Can you imagine me in like a sweater and khakis teaching a class?
Hey, cool. I mean, will be kind of interesting to see. What do you mean, Brian? Brian looked briefly like he was trying to picture that before he burst out laughing.
Is it that ridiculous of an image?
Oh, not really. It's kind of good.
No, it's just... I imagined it with the baseball cap.
Okay, now that's kind of funny. My mouth slowly twitched into a smile, then a laugh. And a moment later, we were getting funny looks from other customers as we cracked up in the middle of the produce aisle. Oh, such a sweet moment. Meanwhile, Savannah and Caleb were apparently having their own grocery adventure. Oh, bananas are delicious. Plums, I don't know about plums. I rarely eat plums. Apples, ew. Why do you want to eat apples?
We're not buying an entire box of cereal.
But we cool. She snatched the box of crunch berries out of Caleb's hand and put it back on the shelf. Whereas Thief, though, I haven't see Thief around.
We can't even get milk to put in it.
Yeah.
We don't need milk.
Also, yeah, we don't actually need milk to eat cereal, you know. Yes, kind of sound like heresy to some people, but if you're lactose intolerant, I'm not lactose intolerant, but I asked my friend who was lactose intolerant, and they tell me, well, people who are lactose intolerant either eat cereal without milk or then use replacement of milk with the cereal, like, almond milk or something like that. I don't really know, soy milk, or use it with milk and just suffer. Either the three of that way.
Crunch berries are good dry.
Yeah.
No cereal is good
Oh,
dry.
oh, come on, there is. Savannah handed him a box of Pop-Tarts instead. Caleb examined the box, swept it for another flavor, and put it in the basket. Oh, Caleb. As they made their way through the store, Caleb paused at the end of an aisle, then darted down it, grabbed something, and sneakily shoved it in the basket before Savannah noticed. She confessed later that she had no idea how he did this, and perhaps we underestimated what he was capable of when motivated by food. As they walked past the meat section, Savannah paused.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
What? Please do not feed the animals? Caleb looked at the sign she was pointing at and read it aloud. Animals? What animals?
Please do not feed the animals.
Uh-huh.
What? The steaks?
Yeah?
How do you feed a chunk of dead cow meat?
Yeah.
Maybe they're ghosts, like Thief.
Ah, could be.
You don't feed thief either.
Oh, okay. You're right. Good point. Yeah. As they proceed forward, things got stranger.
Hey, what's that on the floor?
On the floor? Oh no. I don't like this. Savannah took a few steps closer to the pink and white pile on the tile floor.
It's meat.
Sure enough, one of the package of raw chicken had been torn open, and a half-eaten, half-melted thigh lay on the ground. Oh no.
What kind of store is this?
Yeah. Oh, I skipped something.
What kind of...
Talk about cleanup on aisle 5.
Yeah. Savannah looked around and spotted an employee walking by.
excuse me.
Yeah. She jogged up to her and pointed at a pile of faulty flesh on the ground. The employee followed her gaze.
Oh, again? Alright, I'll get the mop. Thanks.
Okay, could you at least tell me what animal is in here? With that, she casually strolled away, humming to herself, leaving a very confused Savannah in her wake.
Okay, that's it. We're leaving.
Yeah, now, because things are going strange. Again. She grabbed Khaled by the sleeve and dragged him away. Brian and I were already in the checkout line when Savannah and Caleb approached, looking quite unsettled.
You guys look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, don't jinx it, Corey. The joke didn't get much of a response out of them.
Everything okay?
No?
There's
Yeah.
weird going on in this place.
Let's go.
We should go.
Mm-hmm. Brian and I exchanged glance. This is the first time Savannah and Caleb were kinda disturbed. Usually it's Corey and Brian.
Like, weirder than normal for us?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I don't want to stick around and find out.
Alright. Refilled on supplies, we got back in the van and sat down on the snowy road out of town. I love the little shaking. It kinda makes it feel like a car. It didn't take long for the houses to give way of trees and wilderness again. Do not disturb wildlife. On the way out, there was a large wooden sign with "Do Not Disturb Wildlife" spray painted in big red letters. I just thought it was kind of weird, but in retrospect, Savannah and Caleb seemed pretty unnerved. By it. Oh. As we proceed down the tree-lined road, I slammed on the brake and something darted across it. The van skidding in the snow a bit before coming to a stop. To improve this, you should probably do a zoom in every time the dialogue is in to make it more interesting.
What did you do that for?
Something?
Did none of you see that?
Something just passed by.
See what?
There was an animal or something in the road.
What kind of animal?
Oh no.
I'm not
It was
sure.
wide.
It was white, I think.
That narrows it down. Let's go. This place weirds me out.
Okay. Let's go. I pressed the gas pedal and the van moved onward. About half a mile later, I let it slowly drift to a stop again. Why?
Now
Oh
what?
no. I pointed at something up ahead. In the snow was a puddle of something bright red and kind of chunky. This time I received no snarky commentary. I nudged the van closer to the puddle, finally stopping a few feet from it and opening the driver's door.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Investigating. What else?
Uh-huh. I ignored Brian and Savannah protest and climbed out. The puddle was just in as gross close as it had been from a distance. Red blood with chunks of pink and white flesh. And a few bits of hairy skin, though it was hard to tell what color it had been. There was a trail of blood, leading further into the woods.
You're not thinking about following that.
Yeah? No?
I am.
No?
You understand why that's a bad idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I'm not going to be able to live
Okay.
with myself if there's a person on the other end of this, and we just left them here.
Should we maybe just call the police?
That's a good idea.
Sure, if there's anything to call them about.
Now phone signal again. I heard Brian muttering to Savannah as I walked away.
What's gotten into him?
I don't know. Oh, thankfully it didn't actually go very deep into the woods, and what I found at the end was approximately half of a deer, not a human. The other half was nowhere in sight. Oh god, that's horrible, isn't it?
What do you think?
Hello thief. I don't know, but we should get out. Caleb had followed me into the clearing where the deer was. Thief was behind him and tilted his head curiously at the dead animal. It was mostly the front half of the deer that remained, so a good portion of the face looked to have been either eaten or disintegrated. Bits of the skull shone bright white like some chemical had been used to strip the flesh off.
Not sure, but we probably don't want to meet it.
Oh no. We began to turn back, but suddenly Thief hackles raised and he began growling loudly, letting out a few barks in the direction of the woods opposite us.
That cannot be good.
Not at all. Whatever that is, it isn't normal to melt flesh, you know. I grabbed Caleb and we took off back towards the van. Oh! There was an ear-splitting screech as something darted out of the trees towards us. It was moving too fast to get a good look at, and frankly I didn't want to know. Oh god, Weasel. It's Weasel. I found out anyway when I heard a yell from the direction of the van. When we emerged back onto the road, Savannah and Brian were staring down a group of very hungry-looking creatures that had them surrounded. They looked like some kind of large weasel, but with glowing eyes and sharp teeth that seemed too big for their mouths. They were hissing angrily, some jumping forward and back, snapping their fangs at us.
I think I know
Yeah?
what to do.
I spun to face another group of the things that had appeared behind Caleb and I, blocking us all in. A couple of them were drooling and the saliva hissed and steamed as it hit the ground, instantly melting the snow. Oh no, that's bad, isn't it? Thief had appeared in front of Caleb, still snarling and snapping back at the animals. They seemed most interested in Caleb for some reason, and several of the ones that had cornered Savannah and Brian were moving in his direction, nose twitching as if they smelled something intriguing. Oh, okay, the item that Caleb taked. It's probably meat, isn't it? One of the creatures spit a glob of saliva at Caleb and he danced out of the way, nearly running into me. The ground sizzled where it hit.
You know,
Uh-huh.
eaten by mutant weasels expect it to go out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we survived the zombie and the spider monster. Our luck had to run out eventually.
But I think still not.
True. I guess meat is meat to these guys.
Uh-huh, that's the sign, Caleb. Meat. Suddenly, something seemed to occur to Caleb. He reached in his jacket pocket, digging around for a minute and dumping out an assortment of receipts and candy wrappers before apparently finding what he was looking for.
Hey, fur balls!
Ah! He held a handful of plastic wrap sticks in the air. Sorry, I skipped something.
For a snack?
Uh-huh. The weasel had turned to look at what was in his hand, taking the focus of the rest of us. Caleb chuckled the handful of sticks as far as he could, and they landed with a plop in the snow. Without missing a bit, the gaggle of creatures whipped around and descended on the spot, becoming a hissing, wriggling mass as they fought over whatever Caleb had thrown. We rushed back to the van, doors still slamming shut as I turned the key, and the engine roared to life. I'm pretty sure we ran over a couple of the weasels as the tires screeched and we hauled ass out of there. We are safe. A few minutes later, once we felt we were safely away from the horde, Savannah turned to Caleb.
What did you throw back there?
Jerky! Caleb grinned and extracted a box of something from one of the grocery bags, holding it up.
I thought I told you to lay off the Slim Jims.
Ah, those are Slim Jims.
They aren't Slim Jims. They're...
What are they? He paused, reading the box.
Nice Mart brand processed meat sticks.
Ah, okay. Processed meat sticks. Oh, that's nice. The rest of us just sighed. Anyway, that's about all I've got for now. I never figured what the weasels were either. I'm hardly a biologist, but Wikipedia couldn't point me to any species of weasel that spits acid and preys on full-grown deer. Wikipedia couldn't help you at that, obviously. If anyone has any idea what they were, definitely let me know. The closest thing I could find in terms of mythology was a Japanese monster called Kamaitachi. Which is honestly sound way scarier than what we encountered and some creatures from Dungeons and Dragons. The intriguing part about it is that the local definitely knew about them, so it's hard to believe that no one has alerted the biology authorities. I guess that's just the sort of thing that gets accepted in small towns. No, it's not. The Spiderpus and the Screeching Weasel prove one thing. The haunted house in the woods wasn't an isolated incident. This stuff is everywhere and every town could be hiding its own monstrous secret. I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about that. Anyhow, I think I just heard Brian drop something heavy that he probably had no business picking up, so I guess I should go make sure he's not dying or anything. Signing off for now. Nah, Brian is fine. Bye-bye. Nice. Let's see. Yep, still the same. Oh, Rebecca Chiara Marano as store employee Spiderpus at Screeching Weasels. Oh god. That's a lot. Made in Rampy. So I guess that's all for Play That. See you later then in my next video. Bye bye.